I am Richard Jackson. This is Duncan Casey. You either know us or you don't. Some of you, a bunch you jumped on recently, which we're really excited about. So thanks for coming on. It's really nice to have you. We recently pushed through 5,000 subscribers, which we are celebrating at the moment, and that's very good. A bunch of you are new, so thanks for coming on. We're really excited and happy to have you. The timing here is a bit bad because we just released stuff talking about these movies, and then like as we released it, they dropped new shit. So we're kind of back talking about them again. Which really speaks to the state of our lives. But let's start by talking about the newest trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps, which we were already quite excited about, weren't we? We were in a kind of nice space, I think, with regards to this film. What did you think about the newest trailer, Duncan, for Marvel Studios content, owned by Disney, Fantastic Four First Steps? What did you think?
I always feel a bit like I'm signing. Like
when you're like, yeah.
Just sort of doing, I don't know what else to do. I go stand it. Yeah. Sorry. What is the one where, is it Father Ted, or there's something where it just gives up? Because it's like. Yes, sorry. Back to Fantastic Four First Steps.
Yes, Fantastic Four First Steps.
Yes, the new trailer. So these two have been released seemingly quite close together, which is unusual, but cool, fine, whatever. This one is slightly more into the kind of darker, for want of a better word, or sort of the kind of tone of it has been made slightly more serious. Obviously, we're still all the funky stuff. I really
into the ominous thing.
Yeah, exactly. You've got the Silver Surfer in there. You've got Galactus, obviously, and all that, which I'm sure we'll come on to talk about. I dig it. I like it. I think we've said this before. It's like, just because your world is kind of wacky and zany and fun and poppy doesn't mean you can't take it seriously. You know, there can't be serious themes.
Yeah, serious emotional kind of themes and general, like, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's more of the same. I like it. I suppose a few more plot beats have been revealed, but Mark Gatiss is in it, which is
nice. I didn't know about that. That's a cool person to put in. It makes me go, ooh, when you're like, oh, you watch British television. That's cool.
It's a bit like John Hannah. Is it John Hannah who's at the start of
The Last of Us?
The Last of Us.
Yeah, which I really. No, but still, it's like a kind of. Well, John has a bit of a movie star, but I appreciate, like, I've worked with him, I've lensed him. He's a very nice man. Like him, and that scene in The Last of Us is really cool. Like, and it's a similar role for Mark Gatiss in this, in that he's a kind of TV presenter guy. So that's really cool. I mean, I think it's like, there's kind of obviously the emotional weight that's being teased in this. The kind of, we already knew it was like a super period 60s thing. I mean, it's funny because I'm going to go see Thunderbolts on Friday night, which has had some good notices and could be fun. I have been reflecting recently on the dire state of Marvel affairs and just thinking about because fucking Avengers Doomsday comes out next year, and I feel like the previous everything since Endgame has been such a mess that it's like I have none of the excitement I had for any Avengers movie ever. Like even the one like Ultron turned out to be a bit of a dud, but like I have no excitement for Avengers Doomsday really, and like the cast, not the cast so much, the characters in it, I'm like. And they've had to shovel in a bunch of X-Men to make people watch it and stuff, and presumably, because classically, Doctor Doom is a Fantastic Four villain usually. No sign of Doctor Doom in this. We're going with Galactus, which is a classic Fantastic Four villain, played by Ralph Ineson, also known as Finchy from The Office. But he's really amazing dramatic actor, so that's cool. And Galactus being a big, giant space stompy man and not a gas cloud, like in that. Do you remember those original Fantastic Four movies? Which
we went through that at that time. It was because they did it with Green Lantern as well. It was just a big sort of diuretic cloud with teeth.
I was just thinking about those there's those Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, and it's just the most 2000s approach. It's just like watching frosted chips and a wallet chain for 2 hours either way. It feels like, it's just really like, do you know what this needs? Nickelback, which is what they did for Spider-Man stuff, because they were goofy. I was just thinking, you can't say that those aren't goofy. They're just shit.
I think it's sort of not. It's one of those. I think, like you say, it's very 2000s. It's very sort of like sort of plastic goofy, but doesn't want to. But is also embarrassed about its own source material, and
and
Whereas this
trying
doesn't seem
to
like
be Spider-Man, but not really understanding why that worked. Because it was that post-Spider-Man time where we're in that interesting space, like after Spider-Man, but before The Dark Knight, and no one really knew how to be Sam Raimi and or Christopher Nolan. So you just got these really weird. It's like, I mean, we ended up hilariously, ironically, with the Dark Fantastic Four movie, which is like, okay, good, yeah, let's do that. It's
well,
like,
once again learning the wrong lessons from.
exactly.
It's typical that back then sort of spreadsheet filmmaking. Now I guess you'd call it algorithm filmmaking, but it's that thing of, a little pinch of teenage, a little pinch of Gen Alpha, a little pinch of, and it's like,
what's our 18 to 25 demo thinking and whatever. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Fantastic Four. This is I got to see Thunderbolts, and I'm like, that's the excuse to go out on Friday night to cinema with a couple of my mates, really. But it's supposed to be all right. And what happened? Captain America, New World Order, whatever. I don't really want to watch that. It doesn't look very good. And I kept up with the TV series for the longest time, but then I kind of stopped because I got bored. I haven't bothered to watch. I love Daredevil on Netflix, but the thought of more of it right now, I'm kind of like, I don't really want to watch Marvel shit right now.
The end of, is it Born Again or whatever it's called?
Is it good?
It is good, yeah. It's well, have I finished it? No, I did. I finished it. No, I finished it. Sorry,
Okay.
I finished it. Sorry, I don't remember.
You
And I wasn't drunk,
fucking
believe me.
liar. I
I finished it last night. No, I don't want to spoil anything. Bit anticlimactic, but
Okay.
I enjoyed it while I was watching it for the most part. So,
I mean,
and there's
and
a really good episode in the middle in a bank. Which
I fucking love. Look, they've got Frank Castle in there. They've got. I love that version of Kingpin of D'Onofrio, but I just can't be bothered. I'm so marvelled out.
Yeah, and there is a lot of it's. If you like the original one, well, the first two series or whatever, you like this one. I think it is a bit more like that. And like I say, the best episode for me was there's one in the middle of it all, which is in a bank. But again, the best stuff is without Daredevil. That's the thing of it. I just don't think Daredevil works, which is a weird thing to say, but it's like the character of Matt Murdock works very well, and Charlie Cox is excellent at it, but I'd rather watch him. He's better off, he's more Daredevil with just a pair of red tinted glasses than he is in that Daredevil costume.
Okay.
And that just sort of, but D'Onofrio and all that is all on all cylinders, and it's definitely worth checking out.
There you go. Well, I want this Fantastic Four movie. Looks good. I want to see it. This is the Marvel. What I've been kind of torturously driving at, I suppose, is that I want to watch this one, and I will, and with enthusiasm as well, not just kind of like a strange drudge out to like, oh, I guess if I have to, like, yeah, exactly. Like, oh god, we'll get to Alien Earth, but. Yeah, I just think it's ticking all the boxes. Having like the Mark Gatiss thing is really nice. It shows that I don't know how well you know Fantastic Four lore, but their son is Franklin Richards, who's like a amazingly, incredibly powerful, superpowered person who has big consequences in the Marvel universe and stuff. This is in another dimension. I'm assuming, and I like that cake and eat it because it could be 2025 in the Fantastic Four dimension. That's just what 2025 looks like. Or maybe it's 1968 and they're more advanced. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. The point is it has that aesthetic because they've got spaceships and stuff and they're shooting on 60mm film from their little kind of fake interviews and things.
They got flying cars or whatever. And,
they got
jets.
The music's lovely. It's a really lovely, heroic, swelling kind of. It reminded me. There's a really lovely documentary called Apollo 11, which is made from contemporary 75mm footage, like upscaled, and it's kind of edited in a verite style, and it has this kind of like lots of really nice electronic music, but also some kind of quite heroic driving music in it. It's a really lovely documentary, and it reminded me a bit of that, and it should do because it's the space age, right? And it's a little bit Superman-ish, which tracks because it's kind of silver golden age superhero stuff. I think we're all. I will speak for myself, but I'm very sold on the cast. I know Pedro Pascal's in everything at the moment, but that's because he's great. So let him have his moment. He can get his flowers. That's fine. I don't really know the rest of them apart from him, but they tick all the boxes. One of them's a fucking cartoon rock, so I'm not sure what he's from. But like
he's
the
from
voice
The Bear,
stuff.
I think he's in The Bear.
Oh, it is the guy from The Bear. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you've got Jennifer Kirby as Sue Storm. And
She's British, right?
She is, yeah. She was in The Crown, not that I expect you to watch that. No. Not the most Republican of shows. But there we are. No, she's very good in that. And she's in, again, you wouldn't have seen them, but the more recent Mission Impossible movies and other stuff, I believe, but I haven't. But no, she's good. No, it is a strong cast, I think, and we'll see. But I just love the fact that you've got like that robot with like tape recorders going around in its eyes.
Yes, that's Herbie, who is a Marvel. So this is because I know weird amounts of comics I've never read, but like the car's called the Fantastic-R, and the robot's called Herbie, but it's capital H.E. All that, all the fucking silver.
It says at the end as well when the title card came on, it said in Fantastivision or something along the bottom.
Yes, it's the Cinerama logo done.
Yeah.
Which is lovely. Really nice. I think they're really leaning in. There's a very clear, powerful aesthetic to it, and which you're ever going to like or not. Is
this a way of sort of doing a jumping off point where now you're going to have because it's first steps, is this going to be like, and then you're going to see the Spider-Man in this world, and then the X-Men of this universe, and then and is it like you could run these concurrently?
Oh God! I mean, my assumption is they're building towards a thing where everyone gets folded into the one universe, like Crisis style. Do you know what I mean? Because it's become such. This is the I've always wanted to see. I never thought in my lifetime I'd see Multiverse anything in a cinema, because what's funny is in comics is like it's like we do it because we've run out of ideas and it gets really messy and then you have to clean it up. And I always love multiverse stuff. I think it's really cool when it's done well, and I love seeing alternate versions of characters, and it really excites me when it's good. But the problem is comics made a dog's dinner of it and keep having to reset it, and it's like, oh, they're doing it in movies. Don't do that. It's a bit like someone saying to you, like, yeah, but have you tried driving Formula One while sniffing glue? And it's like, well, I'm sure it's fun for a minute, but then the rest, don't do that. Like, that's definitely a bad idea. But here we are, I suppose.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, you do paint yourself into a corner, don't you, with it all? And it's much in the same way, but not even just, like, even implied multiverse, like James Bond, for example, killing him off. It's like, okay, so you know it's going to be reboot time, and then it's sort of like, what are the stakes here, though? And it's the same thing with that kind of stuff. It's like Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back as Dr. Doom. It's like, what are the stakes, though? This is very, because this is going to be your way of, is he going to end up being Tony Stark somehow?
Well, this is because if he, like, I think I've already said, I think it's a really bankrupt decision to bring him back. But good for him. I hope he's making stacks of money. I don't hope, I know. He definitely is. But if he's a version of Tony Stark that become Doctor Doom, if you've just brought him back to play actual Victor Von Doom and he looks like that and he's got a wacky accent, great. I'm fine with it. Fine, like get someone else, that'd be more interesting. But fine. But if he's like a Tony Stark variant that kind of like, ooh, I became Doctor Doom. It's like, it's bad enough already, mate. That you've done this. Like, don't kind of retread it like that. So that, but again, and maybe there's a post-credit scene of him going "Ooh" in this because he's traditionally a Fantastic Four villain. Maybe he's not even from this universe. Yeah, we're starting with Galactus. Hard to say, but that is one decision where I'm kind of like, oof, that feels a bit desperate, mate. I don't know. Do you know what it is? It's Marvel's midlife crisis. It's Marvel buying an expensive sports car and leaving their wife. Like that's the. That it kind of feels a bit like that. It's like, or an ill-advised trip to Turkey for a hair transplant. That's what it feels like. It's like, oh, don't know, mate. Don't know about this. You know what I mean?
They come back with a better hairline and really white, straight teeth.
Yes. Well, a long scab to begin with. Yes, that works.
Yeah. I'm always like, how do you know that it's not going to keep receding behind that?
It does. This is the thing, like, you're very much a man who hasn't had a hair transplant. I will say, if you want to get a hair transplant and your teeth fixed, go do it. From a bald
go
man.
fill your boots.
Oh, I got a bald man with a mouthful of smashed tombstones. Like, I'm not here to talk, but I've just chosen not to do that. That's my choice. I know people who've had it done. It looks great. Good for them. I can't be fucked with that. I walk around with scabs on my head and I'm not allowed to go outside for 6 months or whatever. Anyway, that's Robert Downey Jr. in fucking Fantastic Four. Let's do the new Fantastic Four. If he's in it, which I don't think he is.
No. But no, I'm here for it, and just on its own terms and what it looks like, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we are returning a bit more to that kind of pop art, pop culture-y, but taking itself seriously, which is totally possible. I don't know why we've had to have years of executives thinking that the only way to make something work, like look at something like Batman versus Superman is derisible or risible or whatever the word is, and laughable and stupid and immature, because it cannot, like, it literally is, everything's dark, everything's gloomy, everything's miserable, and you're like, that's immature. Whereas something like the Fantastic Four, in its juvenile look, actually seems way more. I don't know. I haven't seen the film.
No, you're absolutely right. But there's an apparent maturity to it because it's comfortable with itself. It's not because this is what I really think when I look at
Batman could get raped in prison.
Oh my god! Well, this is what because this serves my point so well, because Batman versus Superman, and it's something like Zack Snyder is really guilty of for a man of his age. Like, it's mature if you're 18. Because it's edgy and it's kind of like, Batman gets raped in prison and Superman's going to kill a puppy and what if everyone's got AIDS? And it's like, ugh. But then, when you're older, you're more comfortable about the things you love and being at ease with that and sharing it. So yeah, doing the big dumb silly thing, it is actually more mature as long as the characters have emotional weight and da-da-da. And also, it's not the kind of first time. It's funny it took us this long, because keeping in mind in the pre-Disney days, Marvel made Captain America as a straight-up period World War II thing, which was considered an interesting and somewhat brave thing to do at the time. A bunch of people who weren't around and they go, no, it wasn't. It was, I was there. So, in a way, people have sort of forgotten that with this, and it's not the first time I've done that. And then the last thing, because this is directed by the director of WandaVision, who I think is called Matt Shakman. I'm going to look at me cheating. I used to be really funny about this and refuse to do it, but now I'm just tired all the time. So, Matt Shakman, yeah. And I think that had a lot of potential and quite an anticlimactic end, but my fucking god, did it nail all the period stuff. I thought all the film craft of making all the sitcom eras, and that was very clever. So yeah, I all round, I think, having talked about this very recently, we continue to be excited about it. But now, ironically, with extra steps. Shall we? Unless you have anything more.
No. I mean, I suppose we didn't really touch on anything like there's the Silver Surfer in this. I suppose, is that worth touching upon?
Yeah, well, I suppose so. I mean, because we've had the Silver Surfer on film before with the voice of Lawrence Fishburne. This is because there are various Silver Surfers. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Doug Jones, wasn't it?
Doug Jones, thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The marvelous stretchy body of Doug Jones, who's in all things. This is. I don't know. There are female Silver Surfers. There's different ones, and they've just gone for this is the Herald of Galactus in this universe. Fine. The thing about people getting mad about gender swapping Silver Surfer is, like, I hate to say this because it has its own comic. In this story, Silver Surfer's not that interesting. Silver Surfer comes out and goes, all right, my boss is coming, he's massive, bye. Like, that is essentially...
It's a Herald. Yeah. It's
Herald of Galactus, yeah. So it's going to be some variation upon that. So, like...
I mean, I have no skin in that particular game. And like, I don't... In my very limited knowledge, I don't think it's not a gender swap of the same character, though, is it?
No, it's a different one as far as I know. Yeah, it's established character, yeah.
So technically, it's not a gender swap.
Yeah, exactly. It's traditionally you would expect, because I think people might view it as that. And I don't, nicely know that I haven't seen any people doing false outrage clickbait about that, so that's fine. So, I'm not... The Silver Surfer, they did loads of really groovy, introspective, cosmic stuff that I'm sure is awesome. I've not read. But in terms of how the Silver Surfer fits into the Fantastic Four's kind of Galactus origin story type thing, it's not that interesting. It's cool because it's a cool design of a T1000 what can surf. Though the Silver Surfer did come first. So... I suppose that's the other thing to touch upon, really, is the Silver Surfer is there. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, done. Bye. No, we still got more to talk about.